What's going on YouTube? Gemini Jets 10 here, and welcome back to the channel. Super happy to be back. It's been a while since we've all been together. Been a couple months anyways. I believe the last time we all were together was the massive unboxing video of the haul from Airliners International 2024 in Kansas City. That video skyrocketed to become my most viewed video on the channel. Never in my life did I think that 16,000 of you would want to watch something that I put on the internet. I cannot thank you guys enough for your support over the last year, really, since I started getting active again on YouTube. Y'all's support has been immense, more than I could ever ask for, and I smile every day when I get on the channel and see how many subscribers we have, see how good we're doing. So back at you guys now with another unboxing video. These 9 models, as you can probably see from the title, are from my recent trip to Las Vegas. Today is October 6th, 2024. This past week, I was in Las Vegas visiting my grandparents for just going out there to visit them for the first time since before COVID started. So it was a really good trip. Got to spend time with family, ate a lot of good food, and of course made a trip to the airplane shop where 7 of these 9 models came from. The other 2 we got on the trip as well from the employee store at DFW Airport. We will get more into that here in a little bit, but let's not waste much more time. Let's jump right into this. Again, thank y'all so very much for tuning in and watching. If you guys are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Big things are coming. I cannot wait to get the airport updates going again, get the model airports permanently set up. Speaking of that, we are in the addition. As you may see by the under construction walls in the background, it is a mess in here. We are in a construction zone, but it was the quietest place we were able to go and knock this out. Again, it is October 6th, so no cicadas, nothing going on crazy outside that would have prevented me from filming in here today. So that is why we are here. Added 2 new airlines out of this haul, and we will get into those when we come to that. Pretty cool, though, that we added 2 new airlines. Let's not waste much more time. Let's just jump right into this. We're going to start off with these 2 units right here. The American Airlines 7878 Dreamliner from Gemini Jets, and the American Eagle Embraer 170 in the American Eagle retro livery, also from Gemini Jets. The reason we are starting with these 2 units is these are the 2 models that I picked up at the DFW Employee Store. That shop is located in Terminal C at DFW Airport, right near Gate C1, Charlie 1. It is open to the public. They sell all sorts of aviation memorabilia in there. That place was awesome. T-shirts, suits, suitcases, coasters, posters, and obviously model aircraft, all branded from the different airlines that have served DFW in the past and serve DFW today. They recently started carrying Gemini Jets. I believe this year they started carrying Gemini Jets, so I wanted to jump over there and check it out. On the flight out, we departed out of Terminal D, but my brother and I cruised over to Terminal C, hit the employee store, and then rode the Skylink back over to Terminal D, so it was really cool. I highly, highly, highly recommend, if y'all ever get the chance to fly out of DFW Airport, give y'all selves a little bit of time if you're flying American Airlines, just because they can depart from any of the 5 terminals at the airport. But jump on the Skylink, go over to Terminal C, and hit the DFW Employee Store. I highly recommend it. Really cool in there. You guys will not regret it. Let's not waste much more time. Let's jump right into this. We'll start off with the American Eagle Embraer 170. This is branded from Envoy. This unit is branded from Envoy. It is the Retro E170. I believe this unit is based out of O'Hare. I commonly see it flying to and from Chicago O'Hare. but super duper happy to add this retro livery nonetheless. Delta and American have quickly become the two airlines that I primarily collect. American, I am a little biased towards just because I see so many of their aircraft at my local airport. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, so obviously American is based just down the road in Fort Worth. So these are aircraft that I see all the time, and it's just really cool to be able to collect them. Jumping here into the 787-8 Dreamliner, the smallest of the three Dreamliners. American operates, I want to say, I think it's 20 or 30 of these units. They're based all across the central U.S. You will commonly see these guys doing high-capacity domestic flights, you know, your Miami to Los Angeleses, your Dallas to Chicago's. Love the Dreamliners and absolutely had to pick up that unit, having the opportunity to do so. Now for the models from the airplane shop in Las Vegas, we will start off with the smallest and go back to the biggest. So starting off here, the first new airline that we added in this haul is the Contour Embraer 145. So Contour, for those of you who may not know, is an American domestic airline. They primarily operate essential air service routes. So for those of you who may not know, when the U.S. government deregulated the passenger airline industry, they came out with what is called essential air service, which basically gives a government kickback to airlines to operate flights in and out of rural airports, in which those airports may be that particular town's or the surrounding town's only way of being able to easily travel, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of cities across the western United States that are a part of the essential air service. One state in particular that I think of is Montana. Another being Wyoming. There's a lot of smaller towns there that have essential air service routes, but they're all across the entirety of the United States, and Contour exists to eat up a lot of those contracts and operate flights to major league airports. So for example, the three destinations that Contour operates out of DFW are to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, Greenville, Mississippi, and I believe Tupelo, Mississippi is the other city. Those are Contour's three destinations from DFW, and those are all essential air service routes. So the federal government subsidizes those routes, basically pays Contour to operate those three, to operate the flights to those three cities, and that is the primary reason that Contour exists. Absolutely had to pick that unit up. Jumping in here, we've got the CRJ 900 from Delta. This is actually my second Delta CRJ 900, but I did see that they had this unit in stock. This should be a 2023 release. The CRJ 900s, at least back in the day, maybe not necessarily anymore because Gemini came out with a new mold on them. They used to be really, really hard to come by. And I just absolutely love the CRJ 900s. It's kind of the long-haul regional airliner in the skies, so see these bad boys around a lot. Wanted to add a second one, and I did. Next up here, we've got the second and the last new airline, if that's even what you want to call it. It is the Janet 737-600 from Gemini Jets. So, Janet, for those of you who may not know, is an airline that is based out of Las Vegas. McCarran International Airport, well, I'm sorry, it's now Harry Reid International Airport, is their primary base of operations. And Janet operates flights from Las Vegas to and from the Tonopah Test Range, more commonly known as Area 51. And not a lot is known about Janet. Really, the main things that the public does know is it is employee transportation. So you're going to have the employees who work at Area 51. They will have residency in Las Vegas, and they commute to and from Area 51 every day on Janet's fleet of 737-600s. My grandparents, where they live, they are right on the primary east and the primary eastern departures path. So the aircraft, if they take off to the west, but they have to head east, they do a big loop pretty much right over their condo. And I see these aircraft take off all the time, headed up to Area 51. Absolutely gorgeous aircraft. Janet's livery is pretty plain. They've got the red racing stripe, you can call it, right across the fuselage, and that is pretty much their only identifying characteristic. This is my first 1 to 400 scale 737-600 as well, so super duper cool to add that unit. Janet, for those of you who may not know, nobody really quite knows the true meaning of that name. It's been theorized that it stands for Joint Air Network for Employee Transportation, I believe is unspoken meaning of Janet. But AvGeeks have given it the name Just Another Non-Existent Terminal. So there is y'all's trivia for the day. Second to last narrow body here, we've got the Southwest 737-800 in the Tennessee 1 livery. I have the 737-700 in the Tennessee 1 livery. I picked that up in Chicago last summer. But that 737-700 is no longer painted in that scheme. So this rights that wrong that I made back then, and we now own the 737-800 that is currently painted in the Tennessee 1 scheme. This registration, November 8620 Hotel, is currently painted in this scheme, whereas that 737-700 is, I believe, just in the regular Heart livery nowadays. So super happy to add another special livery Southwest to the collection. Last narrow body here, we've got the Delta 757-200 from Gemini. This is the one without winglets. I do own the 757-200 from NG that has winglets. This is the one without winglets. Delta does still have several 757s in their fleet that do not have winglets. So it is not uncommon to see a Delta 75 without winglets. Of course, most of the newer built 757s, of course, the 757 is a very old aircraft, but most of the newer built ones do all have winglets just because of fuel efficiency reasons. But some of the older ones do not, and this just happens to be one of them. So another Delta narrow body added to the collection, the 75 without winglets. Jumping into the remaining of the 2 wide bodies, and the second to last here is the Delta 767-400 in the Breast Cancer Research Foundation livery. Super duper happy to be able to add this unit to the collection. This is now my 4th Delta 764. I have two regular livery ones, and then the Sky Team 764, and now the BCRF 764. So super duper happy to add this unit to the collection. If I'm not wrong, Delta is getting ready to retire their 764s. They're still going to be around for a little bit. I believe they are aiming for a retirement date in the year 2030. So we'll still have these units around for a little bit, but they are quickly going to start disappearing from our skies. So super duper happy to add this unit to the collection, another Delta wide body. Last but certainly not least, we have the JC Wings Japan Airlines 787-9. This is the only unit from this haul that's not a Gemini. It is a JC Wings model. If I am not wrong, JC Wings owns Gemini Jets, or vice versa. Gemini owns JC Wings. Something to do with their parent companies owning the same unit, just under a different name. And this is my first JC Wings model added to the collection, and my second Japan Airlines model. I own the A350-900 in the One World livery, but Japan Air primarily uses their A350-900s on domestic-only flights. They are in domestic configurations. The only A350s from Japan Air you will see flying overseas are their A350-1000s. So super duper happy to add the 7879 to the collection, my second Japan Air model. And also my first from JC Wings. I would like to thank y'all so very, very much for tuning into this massive unboxing. 9 brand new models added to the collection. Got now all of the boxes, got to put them all away. Again, thank y'all so very much for watching. If y'all did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like. If you all have any beautiful words to say, please feel free to leave a comment. And if y'all want to see more videos like this, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. There are huge things coming to the channel. I promise y'all that. We're making really good progress on working on the house, so it's only a matter of time before I'm to a spot where I can set the model airports back up and start cranking out airport updates for you guys. I am so unbelievably excited to be able to do that for the first time in a very long time. So again, thank y'all so very, very much for watching. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Gemini out.